Rarely have we seen a takedown of a league commissioner as calmly or efficiently delivered. The fact that it came from Nafisa Collier, one of the league's best players and most respected voices, only amplified its impact.
Scott Van Pelt just delivered a masterclass on accountability, and the WNBA Commissioner was the subject. Honestly, it wasn't even close. On ESPN, SVP calmly tore apart Cathy Engelbert's leadership, or rather, her lack of it, and fans everywhere can't stop talking. When one of the most respected figures in sports drops a critique like that, it hits hard. So here's the question. Is it time for Cathy Engelbert to step aside?
The response from WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert came in the form of a statement, which is itself a statement, but not one Engelbert should aspire to make. When a star player says directly, "We have the worst leadership in the world and you are the leader," your response that you're disheartened, that your perspectives differ, makes me wonder if you heard what Fee said. Because it's not differing perspectives. It was a direct call for your job.
Let's paint the picture. The WNBA has never been more in the public eye, thanks to Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, and all the chaos surrounding this wild season. But instead of building on that momentum, what's making headlines? Not record-breaking viewership. Not an epic finals matchup. Nope. It's Scott Van Pelt on ESPN exposing the league's commissioner, Cathy Engelbert. And he did it in true Van Pelt fashion. Calm, measured, almost polite, yet underneath every word was precision and fire.
Collier said, "I've earned this platform," which she has, and said, "I don't care what the fine is," which, if I hear her correctly, is to say you have nothing to threaten me with. The chorus of voices of current stars in the WNBA, which echo Collier's sentiment, didn't have a single opposing voice.
Why did it all blow up? Because Nafisa Collier lit the match earlier this week. In her exit interview, she basically called out the league's leadership as the worst in professional sports. And she didn't just throw shade. She revealed a private conversation where Engelbert allegedly said Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the WNBA because without it, she wouldn't be making money. Wait, what? Did Cathy Engelbert somehow miss the entire Caitlin Clark era at Iowa? Did she forget that Clark's NIL empire was already out-earning most WNBA veterans before she even entered the draft?
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats, and we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost.
Van Pelt locked in on that comment. He highlighted something so basic, yet apparently beyond the commissioner's understanding. Caitlin Clark is the one elevating the WNBA, not the other way around. The league gains more from her than she does from them. And he had the proof to back it up. ESPN's biggest ratings in women's basketball history? All tied to Caitlin Clark. The All-Star Game. Clark was the main draw. Yet, somehow, the commissioner's implying Clark should be thankful. That's not just tone deaf. That's flat out delusional. And then SVP went to work. No yelling, no ranting. Just facts. Sharp, quiet, and devastating.
Post from Elena Delle Donne on Instagram, who said, and I quote, "It's the care for the human part for me. I'm not sure Cathy knows I've retired. Heard from everyone but her. And I don't like to pile on, that's not my thing. But when a player is beloved, respected, and decorated as Delle Donne retires as a multiple MVP, league champion, 7-time All-Star, and member of the W25, which celebrated the top 25 players in the league's first 25 years, you throw that woman a parade. To fail even the most basic and decent things to do, which is to reach out to say thanks, which by the way couldn't be easier to do, is to fail the most basic and...
He then brought up Elena Delle Donne, a 2-time MVP, a champion, and one of the greatest 25 players in WNBA history. She recently retired. And what did she say? That she heard from fans, teammates, and coaches, but not from Cathy Engelbert. Read that again. One of the league's most respected icons walks away, and the commissioner doesn't even send a message. That's not leadership, that's negligence. Van Pelt called it exactly what it is. A failure to handle even the simplest duties of the job. A quick text, a thank you, a show of appreciation. It costs nothing but means everything. But Engelbert couldn't be bothered. And when she was called out, she responded with the same empty language. disheartened, and committed to collaboration. SVP nailed it. This isn't about differing opinions. It's about being exposed as the problem.
The Sportico franchise valuations have soared. Players want more money, and the CBA expires at the end of this month. This was a whole lot more than just a shot across the bow. The WNBA Finals begin this Friday, and we typically hear from Adam Silver on the eve of the NBA Finals. Cathy Engelbert has got to do more than say she's...
Here's where it gets even worse. Not one person has stepped forward to defend Engelbert. Not a player, not a coach, not even a league employee online. Silence. Instead, the opposite happened. Players began echoing Collier's words. Lexi Hull supported her. Sophie Cunningham called Engelbert the most out-of-touch leader this league has ever seen. Even Gino Auriemma, who rarely agrees with anyone, said the so-called physicality of the WNBA is damaging the sport. When voices from rookies to Hall of Famers all share the same criticism, you've got a serious issue. And here's the kicker. Van Pelt reminded everyone, this isn't just drama. It's happening right before CBA negotiations. The players' patience is gone. They're tired of being underpaid, unheard, and told to be grateful. When one of your biggest stars calls your leadership the worst in the world, and another respected vet praises her for it, that's not just tension. That's a mutiny. Van Pelt said it clearly. This wasn't a warning shot. It was a message. Fix it or we'll burn it all down. And he's not exaggerating. The players have leverage now. Caitlin Clark isn't an average rookie. She's an economy in sneakers. She drives ticket sales, sponsors, and broadcast numbers the WNBA has never seen before. If Engelbert honestly believes the league is bigger than the players fueling that success, she's either out of touch or in denial. Section 7 SVP also pointed out something powerful: unity. Not one player came out in Engelbert's defense. Instead, even more voices joined in. From Lexi Hull to Sophie Cunningham to veterans across the league. Coaches like Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammon have been fined for criticizing the officiating and the league's direction. When the backlash is this widespread and the leadership response this weak, disaster is inevitable. And then came the optics. Right before the finals, instead of buzz around the championship, the headlines were all about chaos. Players slam commissioner. Coaches fined. Stars say leadership is the worst in sports. That doesn't build hype, it builds resentment. Van Pelt made it clear, you can't have this level of public anger without accountability at the top. And this is where he delivered the knockout line. He said the WNBA is at a breaking point. Franchise values are climbing, expansion is near, media rights are booming. This should be the league's golden age. Instead, the commissioner is under fire. Players are furious, and fans are questioning if the WNBA is even being managed properly. That's not leadership. That's wasted potential. SVP's words cut deep. When a player like Nafisa Collier says we have the worst leadership in the world, that's not an opinion. That's a direct call for your job, and he's absolutely right. There's no spinning that. You either fix it or step down. And here's the truth everyone knows. Adam Silver is watching closely. The NBA funds and supports the WNBA. Silver has every reason to make sure it doesn't collapse. So, when ESPN voices like Stephen A. Smith and Scott Van Pelt start openly questioning Engelbert's future, you have to wonder, how long before Silver intervenes? Fans already see the pattern. Awful officiating, zero communication from leadership, injuries piling up, legends ignored at retirement, players fined for honesty, and Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest draw, being downplayed by her own commissioner. It's chaos at the exact moment the WNBA should be thriving. Van Pelt wasn't just giving commentary, he was issuing a warning. Fix this or lose everything you've worked for. And he's right. If the league can't protect its stars, improve officiating, or honor its veterans, how can anyone believe it's serious about growing? That's why Van Pelt's segment hit so hard. He didn't yell. He didn't grandstand. He just laid out the truth, and it was brutal. Collier's comments, Delle Donne's silence, Clark's influence, the officiating disaster, and the leadership void. Together, they show a league being dragged down from within. And fans saw it too. Social media exploded with agreement. Players reposted Collier's interview. Even casual viewers said, "This league is a mess." When your reputation sinks that low, no disheartened press release can save you. Scott Van Pelt didn't scream. He didn't need to. He told the truth, and it stung. When fans, athletes, and ESPN's biggest names all agree the WNBA has a leadership crisis, it's impossible to look away. So now the question is simple. Does Cathy Engelbert resign? Or does Adam Silver make the call for her? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.